for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. Director, thank you for being here. Your agency, I would call it organization, you're the only, financial regulator that is laser focused on consumer protection, correct?
That's right.
You were created, why? Because there was all these bad actors, they were out of control. We had to do something about it because people were calling us. It wasn't just mortgage fraud, it was so many other things. Is that correct?
And it was a global financial crisis caused by that.
That's right. I read somewhere that CFPB enjoys overwhelming bipartisan support outside of Congress. Something like 75% of Republicans actually support the work that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau supports. I think it's because you did about $17 billion in relief for over 200 million consumers through the Bureau's enforcement and supervisor activities. And that's why I don't think I'm surprised by those statistics. I actually wanted to look it up because I know I've referred constituents to the Bureau and they've been very incredibly helpful, especially because I think you guys actually read those, the small print of things that get sent out to our consumers. Our residents just don't know what their rights are. I want to talk about the credit card fees because ever since you told me what you are doing on that, I've been bragging about it because I think it's so important to show that the federal government's got your back, that there's this agency that we're independently funding that's specifically working on this. I think you all are, the proposed rule on Regulation Z would likely save cardholders billions of dollars each year. I read something around, roughly $12 billion annually?
That's right.
Director Chopra, when I read that, what is it, like some credit card, it's like part of their business plan that 40% of their profit or something crazy, I don't know, you got to correct me, is from late fees. Like they literally have built a profit and like a line that is specifically all about generating profit from late fees. Can you talk about that?
Well, I just think what Congress wanted when passing that law over a decade ago is just some common sense safeguards that the credit card industry can charge interest, can charge fees, make a profit. But when it's designed to build a business on penalties, lenders should want their customers to pay back and pay on time. We don't want a system where people are happy when someone doesn't pay on time, or if they missed it by a day, I've got them. All we're looking for is something balanced and reasonable.
I know I looked and it really does impact some of our working poor communities regarding the late fees. They're paying like twice as much than any other cardholders. I also have been incredibly thankful for, and again, the Bureau didn't have to do this, but your report on medical debt literally triggered the credit reporting agency, all the three major ones, to do something. Can you talk, the fact that you all did this study that basically said this is the impact of having medical debt on people's consumer report, and it was pretty drastic. I think I saw something like $88 billion in medical debt are in consumer credit records, which impacts housing, employment, you name it. The credit score and report is used for so many things, including auto insurance rates, as we talked about. Can you talk about that study and what happened? I think days after you all released that study, what happened? Yeah,
shortly after, the three credit reporting conglomerates agreed to really drastically limit what is showing up. They also delayed when it would show up because often the consumer is just sort of debating and dealing between the insurance company, the provider, the facility. I just think we want to make sure that that credit report is not a place that you can threaten someone to pay something that they don't owe. But we still have to make sure we look at accuracy standards across the board. I also hear there's other types of bills that show up that may not be actually accurate.
Yeah, that's the thing in the report I read, something around over the last decade or so, maybe from 2005 to now, that there has been a 31% increase in inaccuracy of medical debt because basically people are being misbilled and all this stuff, and that this is happening. Do you support prohibiting and banning medical debt on people's credit reports?
I think we're going to be proposing some more safeguards on it. It's interesting, medical debt is ill-defined because it's also medical credit cards. Also, medical debt can show up in other types of debt. So we're trying to work on the specifics.
Yeah, Director, I was shocked to know the VA our VA sends medical debt of our veterans to credit reporting agents. Did you know that collection
Yes,
agencies?
though they have
Generally, these
dramatically made some changes.
Times
I know, but
expire.
it's very, very disturbing. Thank you, I yield.